Greetings from Carbondale.
Hey everybody, I'm Eva.
And I'm Dina. And together, we're DEVA.
This is our new podcast. We're a few episodes in where we are telling stories about things going on here in Carbondale.
We're so excited to be in the iconic Hangar 9 beer garden, which is actually a new beer garden.
Yes.
We're so thrilled to invite our guest here. We have Andrew Perlmutter of Hangar 9, one of our owners. We're so thrilled that you're here. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome. I'm super excited to not only be here with you guys, but filming in the beer garden. So
Yeah.
very, very exciting.
Yeah.
Is this the first podcast in the beer garden?
This is the first podcast in the beer garden. Absolutely. So thank you guys for coming to do it.
Well, thanks for having us. And you know what? We're here to talk about an incredible event that is coming up here on Friday, October 24th. So we are co-hosting the Carbondale Halloween Homecoming Music Street Festival right outside of Hangar 9 on the iconic
So exciting.
strip.
Yes,
Yes.
We're so excited for this.
Yeah.
It's such a big event. It's been promoted well. It's got an amazing lineup of musicians, right? So exciting. I can't wait to see the crowds of people on the strip in Carbondale.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, we're shutting down that strip again. We had the opportunity to shut down the strip last year for homecoming with the SIU Alumni Association and some other amazing partners. And we're doing it again and even bigger this year because it falls right in line with Halloween, one of Carbondale's most iconic holidays and celebrations.
Yeah, we're so lucky that back in 2018, the city of Carbondale worked with a lot of organizations and groups to bring back Carbondale Halloween. And then, like Eva mentioned, last year we shut down the strip for homecoming with a great partnership with the Alumni Association, Carbondale Main Street, River Radio. And this year we're growing that operation.
Yeah.
So this year, with it falling on Carbondale Halloween and homecoming, we're going all out for an incredible street festival. Andrew mentioned we've got incredible bands.
Yes.
Our headliner is The Urge, so 90s ska, rock, really fun, high energy band. We also have Keller Williams presents the DeadPettyKellerGrass, which is going to be a psychedelic bluegrass, Tom Petty, Grateful Dead cover kind of mashup. And then we have Hot Like Mars, so funk and soul, as well as modern day saints with Tawl and some other guests. So
Classic.
lots of exciting things kicking off at 3 p.m. with the Carbondale Main Street Candy Walk. We also have the unveiling of our Dia de los Muertos a community altar. So it's just going to be a whole exciting, thrilling, family-friendly program.
Yes, and with that,
Yeah, I was going to say, I just on the music lineup, I've seen Keller Williams play all over the place. So the idea that he's going to be here in Carbondale
Yes.
at an event that we're helping to sponsor, at a stage outside of a bar, that's just been reopened.
Yeah.
I am so excited about this. It's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been such great momentum here in Carbondale. I know the alumni coming home for homecoming, I think are going to be so thrilled because we have so many staples still thriving and have come back to life in recent years on the strip. Of course, we got PK's down there, we got the Cellar, and then Boobies has come back in the past couple years. I know that the alumni were so thrilled when they came back last year for homecoming to get those classic sandwiches. And now Hangar 9, there was a moment where people were a little worried of, oh gosh, are we going to lose this amazing establishment that's been here? And it's such an impressive structure on the strip. So I know that everyone is just, hats off to you and Scott for coming in and making sure that this thing stays intact with all those other amazing bars on the strip. They all feed off of each other so well and work together so well. So so thanks for coming in, man.
Well, one of our goals is to we want to encourage more people to come down to Carbondale, whether they're students or residents, and we want to encourage more nightlife. We want to make sure that the strip is alive like it is. Walking around last night, seeing people walk from bar to bar. I mean, it was so reminiscent of when I was in school. So to have the communities support and frankly love the comments that we're getting about reopening the hangar is it's amazing. And so we're thrilled. I love going over to Boobies for a sandwich, have a beer. Same with PK's, and tracks and their amazing, lineup
absolutely.
during the week is amazing. So.
One thing that sticks out to me is just how you said, the bands that are coming and seeing Keller Williams perform all over. So back in the day when I first got introduced to Keller Williams, I believe it was either here at the Hangar at Copper Dragon. So
Nice.
Still a Carbondale venue is what introduced me to that music scene. And so what you all are doing here is fostering that music scene, not only for the local talent, but also for those national acts that are touring through. I see right behind us, we've got a promo for the Dirty Dozen Brass Band all the way from New Orleans. So
amazing.
Yeah.
These guys are playing Jazz Fest, and they're coming to Carbondale, and they're going to play our venue. It's amazing. That's going to be one of the largest build shows that we're going to have this fall. It's on November 7th, which is a Friday, I believe. We're really excited about what that's going to bring to the table. So.
Right, and just those iconic memories from my undergrad years of seeing these incredible musicians in Carbondale. It's really inspirational for the growth that is happening here in our town, and just for the future of the music scene and that growth. So I know this year with the event, we've kind of grown that concert on the Strip to a music street festival, where we're encompassing multiple bands, and we're really trying to push the limits of what our town can handle as we anticipate the new stage being open downtown.
Yeah.
So I'm just so excited to see this stair-step growth happen over time, where we get to shut down the Strip at a second stage this year.
Absolutely.
So 2 stages. I see the future of us all growing, where we have a whole Carbondale Music Festival, where you have a concert at the stage, you have a concert at Hangar, concert at Boobies, PK's, Trace, you name it. All the venues coming together to foster the music scene.
Absolutely. I lived in Nashville, Tennessee for about 10, 12 years, and I was there just as it was starting to explode, right? So there was the downtown Lower Broadway, which was kind of full of honky-tonks, and you would go down there, and it was a little bit of like, I'm going to be a tourist this weekend or whatever. And I'm going to go down there, I'm going to drink at the honky-tonks. If you look at the transition between then and now, it's a totally different city. I mean, it's wild. And I think that there are elements of that on a smaller scale here in Carbondale. And when I talk to Abe at Boobies, or Wally at PK's, they're excited. They want to do things like that. So I think the sky's the limit, and I think this is just, continuing the hard work that everyone's been doing over the last couple of years to continue to grow, Carbondale back to the, beyond what it's ever been.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we saw that growth potential. We also saw the capacity when we hosted the Eclipse.
Yeah.
So we had 2 eclipses here in Carbondale, where we had, over 20,000 guests in the city of Carbondale at one given time.
That's wild.
And so noticing that infrastructure is available to hold all these folks. So that's what's really moving and incredible, is that, hey, we have the infrastructure for that growth.
We have that transportation to bring them here too. You mentioned the development of the new stage, and we also have the development of the Sims, which is our Southern Illinois multimodal station. You've maybe heard us talk about it on here before, but we have that Amtrak that comes direct from New Orleans. You mentioned them from New Orleans. I'm like, how fun would it be if they're just coming in on the Amtrak?
Be amazing.
Right off.
It's called the City of New Orleans, or at least it used to be.
Yeah, it is. The train.
Getting right off that train, being able to hop across the street, get yourself some food, get a drink, come see your show downtown. It's just all, we've got this great little vortex, right here, just bringing it all together.
That's the one thing I'll say that, I used to come to Carbondale once a year. Now I come twice a month, 3 times a month. But, seeing the infrastructure growth really got me excited when I was talking about buying Hangar with Scott. I was like, man, look at the investment that this town is making.
Absolutely.
Right? The new train station, the new, off the rails concert venue. We're really pumping a lot of energy into the Strip along with the other business owners. The university's excited. The chancellor made a post the other day, or sent us an email, I think it was, about how excited he was when he drove by and saw the line outside of the Hangar and how many people were out on the Strip. And I'm like, yes, this is what we need, and we need to get the word out and continue to, just get some, more bodies down here and and people who are interested in the awesome outdoors. I mean,
Yeah, right.
all the natural resources that are around here are amazing.
I know we have so many incredible communities and subcultures, and we
Yes.
also have so many subcultures that people are traveling in for. So one of those that's coming up here in early November is going to be our rock climbing community.
That's so
we
cool.
have an incredible rock climbing community that's hosting their annual fundraiser event, the Holy Boulders competition. So that's coming up in just a few weeks, and so when we see these guests travel in, they're stopping at the Hangar. I know last week we had the Little Grassy Get Down Music Festival out at Touch and Nature.
So cool, yeah.
Yeah, and we had the pre-party here at Hangar. So we had the giddy up before the get down. And as Eva and I were coming to table and just, give people information about all the incredible events happening this month and next month, I look over and there was a buddy of mine that used to work out at Touch and Nature with me all the way from Colorado. I was shocked.
That's so
I look
cool.
over at the beer garden at Hangar 9 here, and there we go. Here's some of my Colorado friends back in Carbondale. And so just for them even coming back to the city and seeing all this growth, we always say they all come back. And, and I really do feel that, people are going to be coming back to Carbondale. They're going to be wanting to retire here. And so what a beautiful community to retire in.
Oh, yeah.
It's so true. It's so true. It's just remarkable, the amount of work that people have done, and the city's amazing. So
yeah, and then even with the Little Grassy Get Down, just a shout out on it and connecting back to Nashville. So our headliner out at Little Grassy Get Down this last weekend was Bronwyn Keith Hines, and now she is an incredible fiddle player. We got to host her over at the Varsity a couple months back.
Oh yeah.
And so what was so great about her being from Nashville coming to play that headlining slot on a Sunday is she got to pick some of the best pickers to join her. And we had Cody
so
Kilby from the Traveling McCurries as her main guitar player this weekend in Southern Illinois, because that was a short 3-hour drive from Nashville. So when you talk about fostering the music scene and that Nashville connection here to Carbondale, the opportunities are endless.
It really is. Andrew, I'd love for us to dive into a little more of your story here, your little Carbondale history, and what brought you back.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was a student here from 95 to 2000. I was on the 5-year program.
Awesome.
Looking back, I wish it was 6, but
Yes.
I came down here. I knew nothing of the area. I was from Chicago, a suburb of Chicago, up north. And it's funny, when I came here to look at the university, I get off the Amtrak train with my dad, we were looking at the university, and the first thing I saw was boobies. And I was like, what is that? Right? I was like, it's a college town. It's full. What is that? And then we went in and had lunch. But anyways, what's going on there? So anyways, we come down here. My parents leave, and immediately I'm like, oh my gosh, this is freedom at its best. I became really good friends with all my friends in the dorm. I was in Neely, 9th floor Neely, represent. All my good friends were there. I joined a fraternity. Sig Apps were no longer here, unfortunately, but we used to have a house right over by Laundry World. Now it's a parking lot, but probably better that way. But anyways, so, joined a fraternity, got kind of like right into the whole thing. And this is a funny story. So at the end of my first semester in Carbondale, I didn't have the best GPA, right? Okay. I was really into like joining a fraternity.
Yeah.
Maybe not as into like, earth science or whatever it was. So I get my GPA at the end of my first semester was 1.9. So I go home and I have to break the news to my dad. My dad, being like the guy that he is, he goes, Andrew, let's go out for dinner and talk about it. Right? So we go out to dinner. I'll never forget, we go to PJ Clark's in Chicago. And he starts the conversation by saying, Andrew, college isn't for everybody. And it's okay if you don't want to go back to college. And I was like, no, Dad, I'll study. So I came back, turned it around, obviously. I knew that I had had too much fun. And then I think it was sophomore, maybe end of my sophomore year, early junior year, I joined the rugby club, which was like the next chapter in my story in Carbondale. And it was amazing, right? Like I got to know a whole other group of people that were really great. And had this common love for this sport that I'd never played before, and so that was sort of the second half of my time here, and then I graduated. And the funny part is, when I graduated, I moved to Chicago for 2 years. I didn't come back. And then I moved to New York for like 3 years, never came back. And then I moved to Nashville. I think I came back once or twice during that stretch for something called O-Loads, which is the rugby reunion.
Okay.
A lot of fun. Happens every first weekend in May every year. And then I moved out to Seattle for another 8-9 years. And, you know, I maybe came back once or twice during that stretch. I had a family, career, the whole 9 yards. And so it was very hard to come back. So when I moved back to Chicago, one of the things I told myself was like, I want to go every year.
Okay, nice.
Right, I want to go for old loads every year, and I want to re-engage, you know, with whatever time that I have.
Yeah.
And then, sure enough, like when the hangar, it was announced that the hangar was going to be closing. I mean, like you guys know, right? The hangar's a special spot.
Oh yeah.
It's not like some of the other establishments that have come and gone, which I miss dearly, sidetracks, things like that. But the hangar's different.
Yeah.
And so when I started talking to Scott, who I didn't know at the time, but we got to know each other through another project, we both kind of looked at each other and we were like, Carbondale's just not Carbondale without the hangar. So we made the decision to become bar owners, which neither of us really wanted to do. You know, we'd never, you know, aspired to be a bar owner.
Yep.
But it's been amazing, and now I'm back here all the time, and I could just see the thing that sticks out to me the most on my trips back is what makes Carbondale so special.
Sure.
It's a special spot.
It
It's
really
got special
is.
people. You know, when you walk into an establishment and there's this great mix of people who in any other place would not belong in the same place together. But
Yeah.
here, it's totally normal and
Works.
awesome.
Exactly.
So
True.
that's a long story short. That's, you know, that was my journey. You know, I love Carbondale. I love my time here, and I couldn't be happier with the fact that I'm now a business owner in Carbondale. Yeah, it's great.
I love that
Fantastic.
piece of just the travels, and then again how it wasn't the same energy as Carbondale, and that's something we see over and over again, is just that diversity within the community, and
awesome.
the fact that you can walk into an establishment and you can see anyone, and I love that about Carbondale. I love our community. We have such a unique community, and you're right, Hangar is a huge cornerstone of that, of making those memories. And so I love too your time with the rugby folks. That is one of those clubs that is iconic, that continues to bring people back every single year.
Every year.
I lived with a couple rugby players in my
Sorry to hear that,
undergrad, so I'm very familiar with all of that fun.
Yeah.
But you're right, you know, it brings back so many people.
And the passion that these guys and girls have for the club is, I don't have anything else in my life that has a group of people that are that passionate about something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, maybe collectors for Funko, like
Right,
there's a
yeah.
passionate group of people, but like this is a tight-knit community of people who come back every year, and they raise money, and they're doing different things to create a better program as alumni for the rugby club. Like right now, we're looking for a player coach who's going to be potentially have a scholarship to go to school free, and then we do some sort of supplement to cover their costs.
Oh, beautiful.
And they're going to be a real coach.
That's so incredible.
Not that Khan wasn't a real coach, but sorry, Khan. But you know what I'm saying, like a dedicated coach. So, you know, these are all little things that make the university, the experience of the university, the town. These are all little things that make it better, and I'm sure that's happening with, you know, the water ski club. We were joking about that earlier.
Yep.
Or the, you know, the rock climbing club.
Yep.
You know, these are all super important things, and so.
Well, and you're right there. From a recruitment standpoint, you know, there was a student that came to council and spoke a couple months back that was here because of the rock climbing community too. So when you talk about these extracurricular activities, you're talking about experience-based marketing, really. I mean, it's drawing people in, it's giving them their community, and it's showing them the endless notions that you can continue to work through.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's so cool, like you said, you know, what a diverse community. And the music scene and bar culture is just as diverse. And I love that it's so diverse within each bar. It's not like,
True.
you go to this bar for that, you go to this bar for that. You
True.
go, every bar, the lineup keeps rotating. You
Yeah.
know, like you see here, you've got your honky tonk, your ska, your electronic music,
The comedy,
your punk rock.
the comedians that came through last week.
Blindstein, we had Blindstein through here. It was amazing.
Yeah, you have your Latin nights, your drag shows,
Yes.
all
So
of that.
many.
So everyone does feel comfortable at each bar. Like you're saying,
Yeah.
you don't step in anywhere and feel out of place.
It's
'cause
awesome.
We do it all. We're this amazing melting pot on this strip.
Yeah, and our biggest problem is that you have to decide which place to go to in a
Yes.
given day because there's
Yeah.
so many offerings and
It's
so
true.
many programming. It's like, oh my gosh. And then you add all the restaurants and their food specials. Like, you can eat your way through Carbondale, you can dance your way through Carbondale, you
Yeah.
can drink your way through Carbondale.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It is very exciting. I didn't realize the variety and the plentifulness of the music scene until we started working on our booking schedule and what it looked like. And then I follow all the other bars in town and I see them post, whether it's boobies or PKs or tracks or whatever it is, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a lot. I mean, for me, it's competition, friendly competition, but at the same time, I'm like, there's a lot going on in this town
Yeah.
for people to do.
Yeah.
And we're seeing those collaborations being threaded through it all as
Absolutely.
well, which is so rich because we're all stronger when we work together.
Absolutely.
And so we serve on a committee. It's called the Carbondale Community Events Team. And that's kind of the folks that help drive all the programming offerings for Carbondale Halloween and Extended. And so we're using that as a network to continue to foster skill sets and grow. So we're seeing a lot of collaborative posts. For example, even this podcast, we have these opportunities to showcase multiple entities in one platform. And so,
Yeah.
Yeah. With, this big event coming up, I'd love to just kind of hear what it's been like. You guys reopened this very, very recently, and then you're diving into partnering on this huge event. So what's that kind of been like, this journey of, wow, I'm a brand new bar owner, and I'm helping throw this insanely huge event on the strip?
All I can say is I'm glad I've got Scott as a partner because
Yes.
he's a very detail-oriented guy.
Yes.
I will just say that, so we opened the bar in August, middle of August. So we're in for about 2 months, right?
Yeah.
And we want to try a lot of different things. We want to try comedy night. We want to put out a beer garden and see, do we have a bar out here? Eventually, do we do food? And part of all these testing and seeing what works and what doesn't work was participating in events like Homecoming and the music festival. And so we are candidly, we're taking some risks. We're like, we want to sponsor this
right.
because of a couple of different reasons. One, we want to have a bigger than life event, right, for Carbondale, which I think we've put collectively we've all put together. These bands are amazing. I'm very excited about it. The festivities that are going to be happening that you guys have all pulled together as a city is amazing. The 2 stages, the kids' activities, all the different vendors that are going to be out there. And so it is a lot. It's a lot for somebody who doesn't, who hasn't done this ever before. But at the same time, it's all worth it because we're testing and learning.
Yeah.
I think that if some of the local merchants look at their October year over year, their numbers are going to be up, right? And our goal is to say, okay, how do we get that? How do we get those numbers up even more next year?
Right.
And by the way, what are the other opportunities? There's the Lights Fantastic. Am I saying that right?
Yep.
The Lights Fantastic Parade. How do we make that the next biggest event? How do we create what we were talking about around, a pub crawl music festival, outside of Homecoming, Halloween?
Yep.
You've got that amazing facility for off the rails concerts downtown. How do we continue to build year over year? So anyways, that's a long-winded way of saying this is part of the test and learn. And we think that so far we've been blown away with the city, all of the promotion, all of the work that you guys are doing. So while it's required some resources and some time and effort, we're super excited about it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I think that's part of it, right? Is you have to have that risk to get the reward.
Absolutely.
And like you mentioned too, this is all of your testing. You're seeing what works. You're seeing what communities or what events that you can host that will be those benchmark events throughout the calendar year. And then growing on ones that already have a statement is how do you put your unique spin to it? And I think all the research that you all are doing this year is just going to be beneficial not only for yourself, but also for your collaborators, so the other venues that are here, because you're able to then take that data and report back and grow as a community. I love that. And also the comparison of the year over year. I know I'm a big, nerd myself, and so I really love looking at that data, especially from like a hotel occupancy rate, and then the promotions in general. Is we were out at the Get Down, doing promotions there, and just how many opportunities there are to get in front of the audience and tell our story.
I think that's part of the thing that we need to do as a community is celebrate the wins and learn from the misses, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody has misses. That's just part of life, right? Some things work, some things don't. We learned maybe not to have like a fun jam band on the same week as the Giddy Up before the Get Down. And so, these are all part of our learnings. And I think that, looking at the data for that event or looking at the year-over-year sales for October after the homecoming, these are all things that we need to do. And then we need to find other ways to build events, whether it's St. Patrick's Day or Christmas or Thanksgiving or the Super Bowl or, you know what I mean?
Sure.
There's all these things that happen. When I was at Funko, we looked at the world through the lens of pop culture, right? So whether it's racing down the strip is your hobby or no, but I think like we looked at it and we said like there's a lot going on, whether it's Lollapalooza or another music festival or the Grammys, Super Bowl. There's so many different things that are happening. Now, not all of them make sense, right?
Right.
But like, how do you create activities around some of the ones that do?
Well, and also, how do you build upon the activities that are in the region, too? So, like, for example, going back to our Nashville connection, that's just an easy one right now. Like, the reason why we were able to have Bronwyn and Keith Hines bring this incredible band to the Little Grassy Get Down was because they were playing at Cave Fest in Tennessee. So they were, riding on that circuit already. And then just because of where we're located, we were able to benefit from it. But no, I love that culture that you're diving into. I love that you're bringing out fun and energy. That's exciting. Yeah.
Like we always say, college should be fun.
Exactly.
Right? College should be fun, and this is a fun town.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who are, have, decided to create a career in fostering a fun environment.
Yeah.
So.
I'm lucky to be one of those folks.
Absolutely. It's amazing.
Happy to be in the mix, indeed.
Very
And that
cool.
student engagement you're bringing too, making sure that you're highlighting those students who are out there making things happen, getting involved with the School of Music and seeing what they're doing on campus and bringing that downtown. And like, I know, I played in a band in college and I got to play at Hangar 9.
Yeah.
And now anytime as an adult, I get to come back and play Hangar 9. I feel that deep connection, that nostalgia. I get to see my own life through this interesting lens of growth of what it was like then and what it's like now, and just what a cool thing, and that brings people back and keeps people around. That keeps me around in Carbondale. Just I don't ever want to let go of this music scene.
It's so cool. And to your point about the student engagement, so we have done so many different activities with registered student organizations, right? RSOs. So like an example is the Karaoke Cup. So last night, 2 weeks ago, we started the Karaoke Cup where we have RSOs, registered student organizations, come in and compete for karaoke night. Last night it was amazing. The vibe that we had in there was awesome. You had people from fraternities, sororities, water ski teams, other different RSOs. So that's one thing.
Yeah.
Love that.
For the Dirty Dozen Brass Band, we're going to work with the School of Music to have them come in and maybe play with these guys a little bit
So
to
cool.
open up
So
for them.
incredible.
Right? Like the list goes on and on, right? From a mini cardboard boat regatta that we're going to have here before that event. And, we're if you don't take advantage of the fact that you're right off of the campus of a huge university, you're missing out. There's so much stuff to intertwine and celebrate.
I love the fact that you're bringing into the School of Music, especially with the Dirty Dozen Brass Band. We had Brass Queens a couple weeks ago at Off the Rails, and the night before they came to Carbondale, they were in Kentucky at a university doing some type of workshop with their music students. And so I love that you're activating the student organizations. I know we're so thrilled to partner with the Student Programming Council this year for the Music Street Festival. So yeah, just lots of things happening.
All Diva's back, part 2 here at Hangar 9. And now we're sitting and chatting with the general manager of Hangar 9, Brandon Henry. Hey Brandon, how's it going?
How you doing?
Good, thanks for joining us this afternoon.
No problem. Love to be here.
Yes, it's so just like calm and cool up here at the top level of Hangar 9.
Yeah, we're in phase 1 of renovations here right now. So where we're actually sitting, if I'm not mistaken, may be in proximity of where the old staircase was.
Exactly. You know, we've done a lot of work, and now we're up here enjoying the space, and we can see the bands and really hang out with your friends and family.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's crazy how just, you know, Scott and Andrew came in here, and at this point, it's been fairly, I don't want to say minor, because so much work has been done, but aesthetically, cosmetically, you know, minor adjustments on the interior that have made such an insanely huge impact. Like we said, there used to be a giant staircase here. There used to be big old concrete platforms downstairs, and they just got rid of that. And it's crazy how much larger and more open and spacious and inviting it feels.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we've heard that from a lot of people, how just open it is when you walk in the door, and how much more room there is for dancing, that you can see the band, and everybody has, it doesn't feel crowded at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I came out here, goodness, I think it was for the Bob Marley cover band a couple weeks back, and being able to experience Hangar from all different areas. I know I came up here for a little bit and got to dance all around this, and having this prime corner. This corner is a great viewpoint for the stage.
This is my favorite spot.
Yeah, and it is. It's so open. So I really am grateful for that change. Just like Eva had mentioned, yes, there's been tons of work, and cosmetically it still looks the same, but just logistically, it feels like a really good flow.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So Brandon, we want to dive into, you know, your story here with Hangar 9. You're a Carbondalian through and through, and you know, people know you out and about, and you've been with Hangar for a while, in the old days, and now in this new rendition. So what's it been like coming from, you know, the old phase of Hangar 9 and then stepping into this new era as this general manager?
Well, it's been a trip, I'll tell you. I started whenever I was in my early 20s at the original Hangar 9, the pole barn, and as a bar back.
Fantastic.
So you've come through like all the eras. Wow.
I've got to witness a lot of different iterations of Hangar 9 over the past, you know, almost 20 years. So, you know, starting then, it was, you know, the dive bar-esque, you know, bluegrass, punk, you know, just a little bit of everything kind of bar. Live music venue always. And, you know, from where we had to carry kegs to the bar to change them behind the bar, or, you know, listen to the Woodbox Gang play on a Friday night for $3. Which was expensive back then.
Right.
To when it's the collapse of the old bar, to opening this current bar right now, and then now with the new owners. It's been a wild trip, I'll tell you that for sure.
20 years worth. That's great.
I wouldn't change a thing. You know, maybe I do miss the old Hangar. Like most people do, but you know, I really love what we're doing with the new Hangar. And what's to come in the future. So.
I love it. Y'all, can I confess something? I never experienced the old Hangar. I never was in it.
I didn't either.
Oh my gosh,
I didn't come to Southern
now
Illinois.
Now I'm the old one, right?
I was around. I could have come, I think, right? But I started coming later in college to this Hangar right here.
Well, you missed out on a little bit, but at least you're here now.
Oh, absolutely.
I love that, and that's part of it, right? At least we're here now,
right?
Because this is welcoming that new age of Hangar 9, of what that looks like, and we see that through just the bold and expressive programming opportunities that you all foster here, because it really ranges for all folks. So I really
Definitely.
enjoy, you know, just the diversity in programming that Hangar 9 is bringing to our community.
Yeah, and that new era of Hangar 9 and of the Strip. Like, you know, we got to chat with Andrew earlier, and we talked a lot about the evolution of Carbondale and how these puzzle pieces, you know, some come and go, some are missing under the couch forever, and some of these puzzle pieces are evolving, and to see that cohesion all come together and those staples, right? Like, people were like, we can't lose Hangar 9, and that's such a staple part of the Strip.
You know, the Strip for me, when I came over for school at SIU, has always been, you know, the heart of Carbondale.
Yeah.
The livelihood, you know, many, whether it be restaurants, bars, shops, or whatever. And luckily enough, Hangar's right in the middle of that, and can sort of be like a heartbeat for that, the pulse that keeps everything going.
Yeah.
And whenever it did close last year, it felt like something was missing, a big void in the Strip. And you know, happy to be back and happy to offer a wide range of different entertainment options. You know, Hangar has so many different identities. You know, we're not just a bar, we're not just a live music venue, we're a little bit of piece of community and someplace to gather all in one. And, you know, it can get a lot of different things here.
Well, and I think we're starting to see that as well, just with the expansion of the beer garden, where you are being able to dip into that indoor-outdoor facility. So yeah, I really am excited about that project. I know we're up on the second level, being able to look over into the beer garden and just seeing the string lights light up that whole beer garden, seeing the gazebos, just the different seating options even there. You can have so many different experiences all in the same night here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think we saw that last week too, when we had Casey Lee Rogers out in the beer garden with Scratch Brewery, another great collaboration partnership, and then moved indoors with some youth or younger entertainment rather. We had Honey on Uke, and then Pity Thy Neighbor and Danielle and Joe. So again, just being able to dip into all these different aspects of programming and music as a collective.
And you know, like you said, it offers so much. I love that with these shifts in mind, thinking about that broad age range, like the going out crowd in Carbondale, they don't tap out. You know, it's like we see people well into their later years in life who want to come out and see that music still, who are still out there performing. You know, you got Tawl and all his friends. They want to be out here and be a part of the scene still, and the space has that in mind and is so accommodating to be like, hey, how do we get people from, you know, from the youngest age we can get in here to the oldest age that we can get in here, make sure everyone's comfortable and enjoying that scene.
Definitely. And you know, whether, you know, Scott likes to say whether you're 18 or 80 or 85 or 90 or however old you are, people still want something to do. And, you know, by doing a diverse, having, you know, earlier shows or different programming that might switch up in the end of the night, it gives something for college students that typically don't come out early. They come out later because they can stay out long. I'd be in bed if I wasn't. but it gives them something to do too, and we would never even know that there was, you know, 400 people in here at 6 o'clock, or 7 o'clock, or versus, you know, the same at 10 o'clock or till midnight. And it's really nice to see how lively the place can be. You know, right now it's quiet. It's the calm before the storm. But you know, last night we had 400 people in here for karaoke for the RSO Karaoke Cup.
So fun.
And that was such it's a good feeling just to see a Tuesday night that usually is historically kind of slower. That many people down on the Strip and enjoying going to Jimmy John's or Chango's or, you know, just out and about.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to mention too, you spoke on just being in bed by 10 or, you know, at a certain time. I joke because I'm the same way, but I'm going to tap into a little bit of a history thing. I mean, you've been here for 20 years, so that's potentially 20-ish. I mean, we have to scale back a little bit, but 20-ish Halloweens that you may have experienced here.
Oh, yes.
So,
Well, Dina, you know, for a long time the Strip was closed during Halloween, and even whenever I worked at Hangar, they would close the bars on the strip for Halloween or the weekend leading up to Halloween. And so we'd always find another place to go.
Yeah.
Unofficial was always really big back then because, Halloween was cracked down upon. There was no cake sales in town at that time. But I remember one year they did open up Halloween.
Yes.
And I think it rained, and it didn't stop anybody from coming out in a full costume garb and like having a great time.
Yeah.
Halloween's one of my favorite holidays of the year. It's my wife's favorite holiday of the year.
Nice.
And it's going to be my daughter's favorite holiday of the year for sure. And I'm glad that there's a candy walk now, and we're closing the strip down for the weekend before Halloween now, which is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It's going to hopefully brings in so many people.
Oh yeah.
And have a safe environment to see live music.
Yeah, I mean, that family-friendly component is what we're really going for, and by reaching out to different registered student organizations and partnering with them to host different carnival games, we're excited to lean into this community offering, again, with that family-friendly lens. Like you mentioned, it's you and your wife's favorite holiday, and it's hopefully going to be your daughter's favorite holiday as well. So just anything that we can do to really tie in that family component, again, here at the heart of Carbondale, that pulse here in downtown Carbondale.
Yeah. Yeah, and to get to share that legacy. Like at this point, I'm sure that Hangar 9 feels like a second home to you. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a couch in the office that may or may not be used every once in a while,
Yeah, so to get to keep, pouring that energy into it, seeing your life evolve, and then get to bring your family into it.
Yeah, my daughter.
What's that like?
My daughter loves Hangar 9 already.
Yeah.
She has a Hangar 9 onesie, and anytime she can't speak yet, but I know her probably first words are going to be Hangar 9.
Yes, you hear it first, folks.
That's amazing.
I hope not, but you never know. But yeah, just, in choosing to come back to fill this role as general manager, and having started a family in Carbondale is something that's really important to me and my wife. So.
That's amazing. Y'all celebrated your wedding here, right?
We did. We had our reception here.
That's so cool.
Last year actually.
Oh,
so,
hooray.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on that.
Happy 1 year.
Yeah, what perfect timing too to be in this role and
Thank
to kind of tie that all together, because those memories that you made here, if we didn't have new owners investing in it, those memories would be in your hearts, and still now we get to add on to those memories and continue to foster that with your whole family. So what a rich experience.
Yeah, and I just love to see that carryover from folks who were here, from the earlier years and then the old Hangar 9 into the new one, to make sure that yes, we're entering this new era, but especially us Carbondalians are a nice nostalgic group, and we like to see those things on the strip grow, but have that same kind of hook into that fun nostalgic past, Boobies keeping up the same sandwich recipes, PK's keeping that same branding and feeling inside. The cellar still has that, the cellar never changes, except they have their beautiful patio now as well. So getting to bring that past into the present, I think does a lot for our alumni, for our community, but getting to see the new elements sprinkled in, all right, diving back in, y'all. Here we are. Had some fun little technical difficulties, like you do in life.
Yeah.
That's life. We roll with the punches here on the strip.
That's true.
I love it. Brandon, I wanted to ask you, what's a day in the life of a general manager of a bar of this size like?
Oh, it's all fun and games.
I'm sure, right?
Well, first of all, I couldn't do it without the rest of my staff.
Yeah. With
Ian or Stephanie or Scott and Andrew being so helpful and supportive. The bartenders and barbacks and servers are all great. It's not all glamorous. It's all behind the scenes. A lot of stuff that you don't even think of. Whether it's, hey, we need napkins, or we're out of pineapple juice, or hey, this isn't working, let's fix it right now. Or how many brooms do we need today?
Yes.
So there's a lot of things besides, just, hanging out, listening to good music, and having a drink that goes on. But, from day to day, every day's different. It totally is. One night we might have a drag show, and then the next it might be, a trivia night or, comedy. So I mean, it keeps it really interesting and fun. And so you meet so many different people, from touring acts to different artists, and people visiting Carbondale for the first time, or alumni that come back and want to check it out.
Yeah.
So it's never boring. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
I was going to say, we kind of know what that's like too. Just all the variety that can happen with it. I guess out of that variety and just all the differences, what is one of your favorite tasks or like assignments that you get to work on as the general manager?
Right now, I wear lots of different hats and delegate lots of different responsibilities. We're working together with the Halloween concert with the Urge.
Yeah.
And Modern Day Saints, Hot Like Mars, and Keller Williams. And, coordinating that is really fun. The logistics behind it's just sometimes overwhelming, but it's also really exciting because we're like, wow, we can execute this.
Yeah.
And all the planning that goes into it and all the, support and sponsors that we've had is just really amazing. And I can't wait to see the turnout.
Yeah, and I mean, we touched on this a little bit earlier too, but just to bring it up is like, sky's the limit on what we can do. We were super lucky with the eclipses to see that infrastructure and how us as a community with SIU and everyone works together, just what we're able to achieve. And so, just knowing that like the sky is the limit here, we really can utilize all of the downtown entertainment and events, the downtown entertainment district as just a launching pad for folks as they're visiting, maybe brand new or like you mentioned, returning alum.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what's really exciting with the programming, with just the activities that are planned, all the vendors that have signed up, and the food trucks too. We can't wait for that.
I know, it's gonna be so fun.
Yeah.
I know I want to eat my way through all the different food trucks.
Right.
So get a little bit at each spot.
I love it. And we keep talking. We're here on the Strip, and what's it like being a part of like the culture of the Strip, right? Like you are working here day in, day out of all the behind the scenes things. And I'm sure that there's a lot of work that's done or conversation and collaboration with the other businesses on the Strip.
For sure, whether, Woody at Trax, Abe at Boobies, or Wally at PK's, and Michelle as the seller, even as far down as Jeff and Taylor at Trace.
Yeah, totally.
This town thrives on new students, returning alumni, people visiting for the first time, and being able to work together and support each other and be like, hey, you need a Pepsi or a Coke or whatever.
Yeah.
Need a CO2 tank. I got
Totally.
you.
That's awesome.
Being able to work together, and we all know that we share, customers, and we can't, be greedy about that. So.
And that's such a unique thing because you're right. Like the way that Carbondale's designed reminds me a lot of like downtown Nashville, is where you can go bar hopping from one establishment to the other, and then with the entertainment district and the rules that kind of guide that as well, being able to make it easier on that consumer to have a good time and to bop around all the establishments. I know being, a brand new Saluki, that was one thing I loved when I came down here was just the accessibility component. I remember looking up, seeing the towers of lodging, like where we stayed, and then walking to the frat houses or the parties over here, and then bopping around downtown. And so you're right, that footprint exceeds past just the Strip. I mean, we have, our friends over at Italian Village or even Buckwater too. And so just that ripple effect of what you can experience in Carbondale is truly remarkable.
It is. Yeah. It's so cool. That's one of my favorite things is being able, like one night I was at open mic night at Trace, and then I ran over to Buckwater and I sang a karaoke song, and then I went back to Trace. Or, you can be like, okay, I'm watching, my fiance's band play at PK's, and I'm going to run down and catch a song or two of a band I really want to see here at Hangar. And then, something's happening in Boobies. Let me stop in there along the way. And like, you can just keep running around all night and catch so many different eclectic things.
Definitely. We talked about whenever I started school here a long time ago. And I lived in the dorms in what's not there anymore, University Park.
Yep.
And we would walk to the Strip, and it was like nothing, it was like, it's so easy to do. And we'd go to the, down College Street or Beverage or Cherry Street, back in the day. and then come to the strip at the end of the night, get La Bambas, burritos as big as your head, get Jimmy John's, go Sam's Cafe or Wise Guys. And then, walk sober, obviously, home.
Of course.
But, Carbondale's a walking town, and everything's really close by, whether you're going to Quattro's now or, underground. We can definitely get around. The strip is not just one section of Carbondale.
Right.
It's basically almost the entire town.
Yeah.
I love coining that too. Like, hey, that's just the strip. It's just a good acronym or just the language that you can use to describe everything downtown.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's awesome. Brandon, do you have any other just stories about living here, experiencing Carbondale, or that you want people to know or share with?
Oh, homecoming's always a great time of the year. One of my first homecomings, I'll tell you this little story. I was actually in the parade. I was the mascot. I was Brown Dog.
Yes.
What?
For SIU for 2 years.
Yes.
And the very first game I ever was mascot at was homecoming. And
So cool.
I did the parade, walked in a tuxedo and a brown dog suit, the length of the parade, and it was I think it was super hot. Not only because of the mascot suit, but it was just hot in general.
Yeah.
And then did the game and probably lost 30 pounds of water weight.
Makes sense.
And had a great time,
Yes.
And that was my favorite homecoming. Got to ride out in the sidecar on the field.
So cool.
Yeah, and I'll date myself here. This is McAndrew Stadium, so
Yes.
this was quite a while ago.
Hey, I saw some games there, so I can still claim that. I saw games there.
Those are homecoming's always a great time of the year. And I've heard rumors that most of the hotels are sold out.
Oh yeah, they've been sold out for a while
which is amazing.
Yeah.
And there's a kind of a new spark to life. It feels like downtown.
Yeah,
and
totally.
Not only us but everybody else is kind of feeling that effect.
Yeah, we feel that too, and we're just so grateful because both of our roles with the city started about 2-3 years ago. And so, all this incredible work has been being done forever here.
Yeah.
Like, we have such an incredible team at the city and then extended into the community. But, we've never had a tourism and events coordinator, so we didn't really have anyone that had been using marketing to tell that story. And so now we just get to tell that story, and that's why we love having this podcast and the ability to just go in depth with people about their story and what Carbondale means to them, because, being able to shine a spotlight to all this is just one way that we can highlight our incredible community. And so we're super grateful to be able to do that, and love the story that you get to share, because you're right, homecoming, those are some big memories that we get to create. And then this year, homecoming and Halloween all together, it's perfect.
Yeah, and hopefully the
Stars
students
align.
can make those memories for, once they're alumni, they'll come back and retell all their kids or
Yeah.
the new
I
students.
was about to mention too, we just shared or saw online too that the fraternities, they went ahead and posted that they are not hosting any
I did
events
see that.
on Friday, October 24th, so
Yeah.
that they can encourage the students to come get involved on the strip.
That's so awesome.
So that's huge. And then, to their point too, our community has grown. We've shown that we can respect one another. We can respect property. We can have keg sales back during Halloween. So
Yeah.
I think they're bringing back official. So who knows what's in works in the future for
Yes.
Carbondale. I mean, we celebrate Halloween all October into November. Now we may be getting the official Halloween back. We're official, we're unofficial, we're all the things.
The kiddos have had that with trick-or-treating and everything on official Halloween. But I'm excited to see what everyone does. And it has become, since it got reintroduced, this new thing that is that family-friendly, that welcoming. But the students and, residents who are actively going out and about, they've held on to it and always made it their own. And it's cool seeing it kind of solidify into this new creature. What is it,
Yeah, and I mean, just all the programming pieces, because like I mentioned, it's all month long. It's all month long. And so not only do we get to collaborate on the concert on the 24th, but you all are providing some incredible programs this weekend for unofficial, and
Sure.
riding into all that.
Yeah, we have Latin night this weekend.
Great.
Always a blast with a costume contest too.
Have fun.
I haven't picked out my costume yet.
Oh, we gotta
Which
get on it,
I
man.
know. I told my wife to surprise me, so we'll see. You'll have to come to see what it is.
Yes, we shall.
But yeah, with number 9 Blacktops after
Yep.
next weekend after the Urge
So
on the
fun.
strip, and that's gonna be a great show. Love to have them back.
Yes.
Yeah, and then Modern Day Saints on that Saturday after the football game.
Yep,
So,
and that's gonna be a free show too.
oh, incredible.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So there's lots of cool stuff happening, a lot of music happening this next few weeks and rest of the semester really.
Yeah, we
So-
started talking about the Dirty Dozen Brass Band and just the accessibility component with the Amtrak station, the Sims, being just footsteps away from here. So yeah, excited to see all of what's to come here.
Yeah.
I love it. Gosh, well, thanks so much for chatting with us
thanks,
about
Eva.
life here at Hangar and in Carbondale.
Yeah.
I appreciate
We're
it.
really looking forward to working together next weekend. I can't believe we're at that point where
All
we get to say
week.
next week.
I know.
It's wild, but we really appreciate you for being here, being part of Carbondale, and especially for that legacy. 20 years here at the Hangar. That's incredible. Really excited to see what the future brings as well.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. All right, well, rock on, everyone. Come on down to the strip.
We'll see
You know
ya.
we got a lot going on, so
Yeah.
don't miss it.
Friday, October 24th, 3 to 10, downtown Carbondale, the Carbondale Halloween Music Street Festival.
Woo.
Yay!